Merton's reference group theory, an in-depth exploration. Robert K. Merton, a prominent sociologist, made significant contributions to the field of sociology with his concept of the reference group. His reference group theory has been influential in understanding how individuals' attitudes, behaviors, and self-perceptions are shaped by the groups with which they identify or compare themselves. This theory is central to social psychology and sociology, providing insights into how social structures influence individual behavior. Understanding reference groups. A reference group is a social group that an individual uses as a standard for evaluating themselves, their attitudes, values, and behaviors. Reference groups can be groups to which a person currently belongs, membership groups, or groups to which they aspire to belong, aspirational groups. They can also include groups that a person seeks to distance themselves from, dissociative groups. Merton's theory goes beyond the simple identification with a group. It delves into how the relationship between the individual and the group influences various aspects of their social identity and behavior. According to Merton, reference groups serve as a benchmark against which people compare themselves, influencing their self-concept and guiding their actions. Types of reference groups. Merton identified different types of reference groups, each playing a unique role in shaping individual behavior. Normative reference groups. These groups set and enforce standards of conduct and belief. Individuals look to these groups to understand what behaviors and attitudes are expected. For example, a religious community can be a normative reference group, where members adopt behaviors and beliefs consistent with the group's teachings. Comparative reference groups. These groups are used as a point of comparison for evaluating one's own situation, abilities, or status. For instance, a professional might compare themselves with colleagues in the same field to gauge their career success or development. Aspirational reference groups. These are groups that individuals aspire to join or emulate. These groups represent a future-oriented vision of where the individual wants to be. For example, a student may aspire to join an elite university's alumni network, influencing their academic efforts and career choices. Dissociative reference groups. These are groups that individuals seek to avoid or disassociate themselves from. The behaviors and values of these groups are contrary to the individual's own beliefs or desired identity. For example, a person may consciously avoid adopting the behavior of a group they view as socially undesirable. Functions of reference groups. Merton's reference group theory outlines several key functions that these groups serve in the socialization process. Socialization function. Reference groups play a crucial role in the socialization process, teaching individuals the norms, values, and behaviors expected in society. Through interaction with these groups, individuals learn how to behave in different social contexts. Normative function. Reference groups establish the norms and standards against which individuals measure their own behavior. They provide the criteria for evaluating whether one's behavior is appropriate or acceptable within a particular social context. Comparative function. These groups serve as a benchmark for self-evaluation. Individuals compare themselves with the members of the reference group to assess their own social status, achievements, and identity. This comparison can influence their self-esteem and motivation. Identity function. Reference groups help individuals define their identity. By identifying with certain groups, individuals adopt specific roles, attitudes, and behaviors that align with the group's identity. This identification can significantly shape an individual's sense of self. Applications of reference group theory. Merton's reference group theory has wide-ranging applications across various fields, including marketing, psychology, and organizational behavior. Consumer behavior. In marketing, companies often target specific reference groups to influence consumer behavior. For example, luxury brands position themselves as aspirational reference groups, encouraging consumers to purchase their products to align with the lifestyles of the affluent and successful. Organizational behavior. Within organizations, employees may compare themselves to their peers' comparative reference groups or aspire to join the ranks of senior management aspirational reference groups. These comparisons can influence job satisfaction, motivation, and career development. Social movements. Reference groups play a significant role in social movements. Individuals who aspire to bring about social change may identify with groups that share their values and goals, guiding their actions and strategies within the movement. Educational settings. In educational contexts, students often look to their peers or role models as reference groups, shaping their academic aspirations, study habits, and career choices. Schools and universities can influence these reference groups through mentoring programs and alumni networks. Criticism and limitations. While Merton's reference group theory is widely influential, it is not without criticism. Some critics argue that the theory may oversimplify the complex dynamics of group influence. Individuals often belong to multiple reference groups simultaneously, and the influence of these groups can vary depending on the context. Additionally, the theory may not adequately account for the agency of individuals in resisting or rejecting the influence of reference groups. Moreover, the theory assumes that individuals are always aware of the reference groups they compare themselves with, which may not always be the case. Unconscious biases and societal pressures can also play a significant role in shaping behavior beyond the influence of conscious reference group comparisons. Conclusion. Robert K. Merton's reference group theory provides a valuable framework for understanding how social groups influence individual behavior, attitudes, and self-concept. By examining the different types of reference groups and their functions, we can better understand the social dynamics that shape identity and behavior. Despite its limitations, the theory remains a cornerstone in the study of social psychology and sociology, offering insights that are applicable across a range of disciplines and real-world contexts. As society becomes increasingly complex, with individuals navigating multiple and often conflicting reference groups, Merton's theory continues to offer a powerful lens through which to analyze the interplay between individual agency and social structure.